to get started. My name's Bernard Strutt. I work in student recruitment and international development here at the university. It's my pleasure to formally welcome you all to our postgraduate research open day. Hopefully you have all had an opportunity to pick up our programme of events when you registered downstairs, which sets out some of the activities taking place across campus today. The focus is very much going to be on the research showcase, which is from 1 o'clock, and you will have seen, no doubt, when you came in to register, is set up downstairs in the foyer. We'll be providing some refreshments, and that's an opportunity for you to talk to current research students who are at all different stages of their study toward a PhD. We've also carved out quite a lot of time in the programme for you to go and meet with individuals, so current students, members of academic staff, members of admissions staff within our faculties and academic schools, because we appreciate that you'll all be coming today with very specific questions about research and about the application process that's probably best answered by those individuals working at a discipline level within faculties and schools. But before we released you to do all of that, we obviously wanted to formally welcome you and also to provide a little bit of context to that activity and to try and give you a general introduction to the postgraduate research student experience here at Manchester and kind of what awaits you should you come to study here. And we very much wanted to give you an academic perspective on that. So I'm going to hand over now to my colleague, Professor Melissa Westwood, who's our Associate Dean for Postgraduate Research within our Faculty of Life Sciences, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the research student experience here at Manchester.
Thank you. So hello everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming along to find out about opportunities for postgraduate research in Manchester. I gather that some of you are already students here or a recent graduate, so hopefully you'll choose to stay in Manchester for the next phase of your career. And I think some of you are visiting Manchester for the first time, and we're hoping that we can convince you to come and join us as you become postgraduate researchers. So I'm going to lower the lights a little so you can see the screen a bit better and tell you a bit about the research that goes on in Manchester that you can become part of. So our university's motto is actually knowledge, wisdom and humanity. And our three core goals reflect our motto. Our first goal is around world-class research. And then we have a second goal around enabling people to flourish by giving them a truly outstanding experience from a teaching and learning perspective. And then our third goal is around social responsibility, and that aims to ensure that all of our activities have a societal impact, whether that be locally, nationally, or even globally. And so to our first goal, research excellence, I guess the first thing to say is that if you come and do research at Manchester, well then you'll be in very good company, because Manchester has 25 Nobel laureates amongst our former students and staff, including one of the very first Nobel laureates, Ernest Rutherford, right through to members of our current staff. You can see here Joseph Stiglitz, who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics in 2001. We have John Sulston, who was awarded the Prize for Physiology and Medicine in 2002, and then most recently Andrei Guy and Konstantin Novozolov, who was both awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2010. And these four laureates are members of our current staff, and so in the UK we're the university with the most number of Nobel laureates within our staff. So Andrei and Konstantin were awarded the Nobel Prize for the discovery of graphene, which was research conducted here in Manchester. And I'm not sure whether you've come across graphene, but it's a two-dimensional material which consists of a single layer of carbon atoms formed into like a honeycomb structure, or a bit like chicken wire. and it's the thinnest material that we know, yet it's one of the strongest, and it's very efficient at conducting electricity, very similar to copper, and it outperforms all other metals in relation to conduction of heat. And it's transparent, almost completely transparent, but it's very dense, and won't even allow the smallest atom, helium, to pass through it. So it really is a revolutionary material. And now in Manchester, we've become home to the National Institute for Graphene, which aims to be the world-leading centre for the development of graphene, helping to keep the UK at the forefront of the commercialisation of this really revolutionary material. But it's not just our Nobel Prize winners that conduct world-class research. In Manchester, there is a broad research areas. We have breadth and depth, which allows us to combine expertise from across the disciplines, and therefore makes the opportunities of our size to ensure that we are addressing problems that are of real-world importance. And by bringing together researchers from across our various disciplines, we can put the best minds together to come up with solutions to some of these issues. And so I'm just going to show you now a little video that describes our research beacons in more detail.
Across the world, we face challenges that impact upon all of our lives. We demand so much of our planet, of ourselves, and of each other. At the University of Manchester, we're meeting these challenges head-on. We're committing our knowledge and power to tackling some of the world's critical questions. Our research is leading to more efficient, sustainable, and affordable energy for the planet. It's finding sustainable alternatives to the finite resources used to manufacture goods we use every day. We're developing advanced materials for the most extreme environments and the most familiar. Our expertise is helping to tackle inequalities that people face across the globe. It's also helping to create a world in which more of us survive cancer and live longer. As long as the world keeps turning, we'll continue to face challenges, and our demands will keep growing by the day. But as the UK's biggest campus-based university, Manchester has the size and strength to see the new ways forward, bringing the best minds together. From across disciplines and sectors, we find fresh and innovative answers to the world's biggest questions. These are global challenges. These are Manchester solutions.
So, we've told you that we have research excellence, but don't just take our word for it. You can have a look at the recent results from the 2014 Research Excellence Framework. And the Research Excellence Framework, or REF, is the way the government uses to assess the quality of research that's conducted in the UK universities, and it then allocates funding based on those results. And in the most recent REF, the one in 2014, Manchester was ranked to be world leading or internationally excellent in 83% of our research activity. And also we were ranked 5th in the UK in terms of our research power. And as I keep saying, we have a broad research interest, and we actually submitted returns in 35 disciplines, and we were recognised as excellent in the disciplines which span the full range of our activities, including engineering, our Faculty of Medical and Human Sciences, our Faculty of Life Sciences, and also our Faculty of Humanities. So undoubtedly our research success is due to our investment in people, but also it's due to our investment in facilities, and we have excellent research facilities across the campus. I've also already mentioned the National Graphene Institute, but you'll see as you walk around the campus today that there are many new buildings, and these sit very nicely alongside our more traditional Victorian architecture, which shows the roots of the Manchester campus. But as well as investing in facilities to help you work hard, we're also very keen to provide opportunity for playing hard as well. So we have the Sugden Sports Centre and also the Manchester Aquatic Centre, which was built for the Commonwealth Games a few years ago. We also have a museum, the Manchester Museum, and also an art gallery, the Whitworth Art Gallery. Some of you might have seen it in the news earlier in the year, because the Whitworth Art Gallery won the prestigious Museum of the Year award from the Arts Fund. And also, the university owns a Manchester Academy, which is a popular concert venue, and again is award-winning and has been nominated as the best entertainment venue in Manchester. So there's plenty for you to do on campus before you even venture out into the city itself. Manchester is a very vibrant city. It has and the university has very close connections with the city itself, and our students have been very much involved in playing a role in the rejuvenation of the city over the recent years. It's a city of contrast, really. In many ways, it's a large city. However, it has a compact and friendly city centre. And it's renowned for its sports, and as I'm sure you know, we have the two football teams, but also cricket is a big part of Manchester sporting scene, and also rugby through the Sale Sharks Rugby Club. We've also got other gig venues apart from the university-owned Manchester Academy. There's also the O2 Apollo Arena and the O2 Apollo, and also the Manchester Arena. And both of those regularly play host to touring groups. We recently had Mumford & Sons, Muse, the Vamps, Eddie Goulding, all have Manchester on their circuit. There's plenty of nightlife. I'm sure you know Manchester is renowned for its music scene. And there's also plenty of more cultured opportunities through our galleries and museums, through cinema. If shopping is your thing, there's the Trafford Centre, not too far outside of Manchester, but also many prestigious shops within the city centre itself. And then a little further afield, there's the Peak District and North Wales, the Lake District, all really accessible by car and train. So there's plenty for you to do. And you can see that there is a large student population when you consider the students at Manchester Metropolitan University and also the University of Salford. And so it's you'll be joining a very vibrant student community. But let's go back now to the main reason you might want to come to Manchester, which is to do postgraduate research and to get a PhD. How can we help you to do that? So I've mentioned already that the university is divided into four faculties: engineering and physical sciences, humanities, life sciences, and medical and human sciences. And so whatever your own personal research interest, there will be a place for you in Manchester. And so I thought I'll show you a little film now about from one of our current students, Johannes Lotz, who's based in the Faculty of Humanities. And he talks about finding the research area that you're going to work on, how it's important to follow your heart, but also how doing postgraduate research can really change your life.
I totally knew that I wanted to study history, but in Germany you have to pick a second major. I had a neighbour in Berlin, Frederick, who became a very good friend. So one day he just said to me, hey, by the way, I'm going to China next month, do you want to join? I was curious, I always loved traveling. I didn't know at the time that that trip would change my whole life. In China I was almost always approached in a very nice and polite way. One day I was standing on that famous Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge and a school bus approached me very slowly. When the kids saw me, the Lao Wai, they acted as if they had seen a kind of alien, like, pointing at me, laughing at me, even taking pictures of me, standing on the bridge. I was like, what's going on? My experiences on that trip made me think that China had been a very close place, always detached from the rest of the planet with the Great Wall as a kind of petrified desire to cut off China from outside influences. Then I came back to Berlin and I thought, well, let's just see if I can learn Chinese. At first it was just a language course, but yeah, I had so much fun, really. I just changed my second major to Chinese studies. My Latin teacher was greatly worried and trying to talk me out of it. Not many people decided to study Chinese back then. I just felt that was what I had to do. And I also feel now that if you always do what certain well-meaning people tell you, you'll just never come up with anything original, really. The 4 years after that first trip, I came back to China. Now I could just get into a restaurant and order food. On the first trip, the results of my ordering in pantomime language had often been atrocious. My trips to China have influenced my research. So you could say that I didn't choose my research actually, but rather my research chose me. I look at China around 2 centuries before the first Europeans arrived, a period we know as the early Ming Dynasty. Through the lens of language policies and translation activities, I want to show that China was not as isolated as many believe. This language lens may seem like a rather narrow focus, but the closer you get to a keyhole, the more you can see through it. Through this keyhole, we will actually better understand how China has been embedded in global history for at least the last 2,000 years. If you give yourself over to thing of study with the kind of trust and openness you would normally give to the person you're in love with, it will most definitely lead you to some fascinating place you can never fully anticipate.
So that's a film from Johannes Lotz, who is one of our current international students in the Faculty of Humanities. And so you'll be joining a very large postgraduate community. I was talking before about the number of students that are present in Manchester, that student population as a whole. In terms of postgraduate students, you can see that in our university, University of Manchester, we have nearly 4,000, which makes up about 10% of the university's student population. And we're a mixture of full-time and part-time students, and also a mixture of home and overseas students. We now have about 1,400 international students, and so that's about a third of our postgraduate research population. And we look after all of these students through the Manchester Doctoral College. The Doctoral College has oversight of all the training and research development that goes on across the university, and all PhD students that join us are registered in the Manchester Doctoral College. We recognise that moving from undergraduate study or even from a taught master's course to postgraduate research can be a bit of a leap. So at Manchester, we're committed to supporting you all the way through the journey, right from initial recruitment and gaining a place at Manchester, through to the training, which can be both in specific research techniques, but also in transferable skills, facilitating your ability to conduct world-class research, as I've mentioned, but also ensuring that you're on track and that you're progressing through your programme at an appropriate rate, and that you're prepared for your various examinations, the Viva examinations at the end of the first year, and then when you're finished, and then helping you to transition into your chosen career through our award-winning careers service. We recognise that in the current climate, postgraduate study has financial implications, and so there are a number of ways in which you can study for a PhD in Manchester, and you'll be able to find out more about the particular funding opportunities open to you in your discipline if you attend the faculty events this afternoon. A lot of our studentships these days are offered through money that comes from the research councils to institutes through the Centres for Doctoral Training, and there are many benefits to doing your PhD through a Centre for Doctoral Training because there's enhanced stipend. Often you can have involvement with business or charities or government, and you can go out on placements in those areas, and also you can benefit from training as a cohort with other students studying in the same area. So do talk to your faculties about possibilities for funding through those schemes this afternoon. But whatever route you go down, our aim at Manchester is to support you in all that you do. We very much see it as a collaborative partnership between you, the student, and us at the and the university. You bring a great deal to the university through your inventiveness, your intellect, your industry, and we try and support you so that you can flourish by providing some of the facilities I've talked about, and also the training and the help in moving into your next career. And the aim is that at the end of your PhD, you will have had a high quality thesis that's internationally recognised, but hopefully also that you're equipped with the skills and attributes that you need to go into the next stage of your career, and that you're able to disseminate your research findings through publications. So I'll tell you now a little bit more about the training opportunities that are available. These are face-to-face training sessions. You can go on courses for specific research techniques, but also transferable skills. You can also take online training courses, and also you can take part in our research showcase, which is an event that happens every year where students get the opportunity to discuss their findings with other students. And I'm going to show you a film about that now, and you'll be able to see some of the posters that are shown in this particular clip downstairs in the drum, as Bernard was saying a little earlier.
We've had 9 films submitted this year, and the purpose of the short film competition is really to bring PGR students out of their shell on a more personal level. We want to know the story behind the researcher rather than the research itself.
It's quite challenging making a short film compared to other forms of research like posters or papers or conference presentations. To do a short film, you have to really connect with your audience, and it's going to be as wide as you possibly can make it. So it's about finding the narrative of your research rather than finding the content of what you're actually researching. So for me, it's about the journey of how I've come to do what I study and what makes it interesting to me, and hopefully what makes it interesting to other people. It was an opportunity to be creative making a short film. It was a unique experience. It was unlike any other kind of form of academic output that I've done before. And it allows you to kind of see your research in a new way because you're sort of seeing it from a sort of an audience's perspective, and it's a broader kind of audience that you're reaching out to.
Yeah, it was a really good opportunity to take a step back and try and show where it's come from, the fact that it was patients that made me think about the research, and it just helped me to present my research in more of a visual way and trying to get one clear message across without getting bogged down in the detail.
So this year we introduced a innovative method, as you could see there, for students to present their work by getting them to make little films about it. But as well as doing that, you can also do the more traditional format of discussing research, which is through showing posters about your research. And there's a little bit more about this here.
Postgraduate Summer Research Showcase is an annual event where our researchers across the university come together to present their research. This year the showcase is expanded because it now incorporates research films and also a research image competition. So we wanted to give researchers the opportunity really to present their research in different ways and different formats.
So the Postgraduate Summer Research Showcase is quite unique because it fits in with all the strategic aims of the university. Firstly, by bringing researchers from across the university together, we're opening up and bringing new interdisciplinary links, which leads to new world-class research. Secondly, at the heart of the Postgraduate Summer Research Showcase are students themselves. It's giving students a great chance to present their research, develop their presentation skills, develop their communication skills to both academics and non-academics, which are vital skills for any researcher. And thirdly, it's opening up a forum where other people, the wider public, and non-research staff of the university can come and engage with our research, see the great research that the university does. So it's outreaching, it's stepping out and taking the research out to a wider audience. Building interdisciplinary links is at the heart of the Postgraduate Summer Research Showcase.
I think that it's really nice to be able to present, I guess, almost at home in your university, but also being able to present with such a diverse range of subjects as well, because normally you will present to your field. So being able to have conversations with people from chemistry or life sciences, that kind of thing, coming from a pharmacy school, has been really positive.
I really love the images of research. I think that they're really poignant and they communicate something different about research and about what researchers do. And they all really clearly demonstrate impact and the purpose and the diversity of research and research projects.
I enjoyed the variety. There's so many different things going on, and it's fascinating to see all the different fields, and it's great to see that everybody is so keen on all this research and the work that's being done. People have been really good at bringing it down to a level where I can understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, and that's been really good.
I think it's great, the location is fabulous, the presenters are so engaged, and everybody I've spoken to is really up for it. There's a real buzz about it, and the science that I've seen has been top, first class.
So hopefully you'll be able to see some of that for yourself downstairs in the next 5 minutes or so. Do go along and meet some of the people who were in those films, and they're presenting their posters today to show you about the breadth of research that our postgraduate researchers do. So I keep saying it's a collaboration between our students and the university. So the other point to say is that students get the opportunity to contribute to the direction of our programs and how we develop through representation on the doctoral training centres I was talking about, also through our Students' Union, and then also the Postgraduate Research Experience Survey, which provides really useful feedback to the university so that we can make the experience for our postgraduates even better. And then finally, as you progress towards finishing your PhD and launching into your career, just a note to say that we do support you in ensuring that you will actually complete this journey. We have a bespoke online tool called eProg, which maps your journey right from the very beginning when you first arrive in Manchester, and all the milestones that you will have to meet right through. This is the first year of somebody's PhD programme, but that goes right through until your very last milestone, submission of your thesis at the end of year 3 or year 4, depending on your programme. And you can see that it's very easy to ensure that you are completing on time and the appropriate milestones to make sure that all of the skills that you need are acquired as you progress through the course. And then finally, we have a award-winning careers service, which will help you to transition into the next phase of your career, whatever field that might be. So I'll finish there. Hopefully I've convinced you that Manchester's the place to be for your postgraduate research, but wherever you choose to study, good luck. Thanks very much.